Brian Campkin thought he was a pretty healthy guy. Then all of a sudden, when he was playing tennis one day, he just couldn't breathe.
5 weeks of tests and an angiogram later, I went from shortness of breath to requiring an emergency triple bypass. 3 of my 4 main arteries were clogged at 100%. In the prime of my life, but I went from healthy to health risk overnight and didn't see it coming. I was blindsided.
Many boomers might be too if they face the true state of their health. 80% of Canadian boomers think their doctors would rate them as healthy, according to a new Heart and Stroke Foundation poll. But their lifestyle choices tell a different story. 85% aren't eating enough fruits and vegetables. 40% aren't getting enough exercise. 1 in 5 smokes, and 1 in 10 are heavy drinkers.
What will your last 10 years look like?
It's the focus of a new Heart and Stroke Foundation campaign called Make Health Last.
Will you grow old with vitality or get old with disease?
Yet the poll shows 1/4 of boomers don't worry about how healthy they'll be later in life.
It turns out about 4 out of every 5 have at least one risk factor for heart disease or stroke. Unhealthy lifestyles can take away about 10 years of quality life away from those who are getting into those retirement ages.
But if you change your habits one at a time, you can reduce the risk of heart disease and stroke by up to 80% with lifestyle changes.
If you were to cut smoking at the age of 65, you would be adding, again, 2.5 to 3 years of quality life, let alone for heart disease and stroke, but other things like emphysema.
Campkin wants to make sure he's around to walk each of his 3 daughters down the aisle. He began to eat healthier, exercise more, and dial down the stress.
I want to be able to spend time with my grandchildren. And when I say spend time, it's not sitting on a couch looking at them on the floor. I want to be healthy and mobile enough that I can get on the floor with them and be a playful grandparent, if you want to call it that.
Physical inactivity can cost you 4 years of life. An unhealthy diet can cost you 3 years. Excessive drinking can cost you 2 years of life. And so can excessive stress. Changing habits isn't easy. I was told today it takes about 6 months to a year to make a change that actually sticks. So not easy, but worth it in the long run.
And don't give up, because you're going to fail a number of times before you
Absolutely.
succeed. And don't beat yourself up about it. Sorry, I don't know.
You know, those Heart and Stroke Foundation ad campaign is very, very powerful because it is in stark contrast what a healthy older person looks like and someone who is bedeviled by illness. And nobody wants that.
Right.
Everybody wants this, but you have to work for it.
You have to work for it, and that's what we forget, right? I mean, there was a time when people just had to be physical to make ends meet. We don't have to, and like many of us don't anymore. And
so
we're sedentary.
Health is not a right; it's a privilege, and you have to work.
But I want to be one of those seniors that's playing golf into my 80s. You know, that's
or 90s.
Okay,
I'll keep going up there.
Maybe I'll get it right by then. I'll be able to play correctly.
Thank you, Bea.
You're welcome.